This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by lynda.com. What's going on, guys? I'm Mark Linsengen from Techno Buffalo, and it's another Tuesday show, so that means we'll be comparing the HTC One M8 and the HTC One E8 and see which one we'd prefer more. When the HTC One M8 came out earlier this year, it was probably one of the most anticipated Android smartphones to date, due to its sleek design and overall look. The M8 is definitely hands down one of the best built Android smartphones out in the market. It's carved from a single piece of aluminum, which curves perfectly in your hand, and there's barely any plastic in sight. The HTC One E8, on the other hand, is made out of polycarbonate, so it looks far less premium than the One M8. However, the front of both devices look really similar, as both phones feature a 5-inch Full HD display, and they also have the boom sound speakers above and below the screen that we all know and love. And we didn't really hear any difference between the two when we tested them. They're both equipped with a 2.3 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 801 processor, 2 GB of RAM, 2600 mAh battery, the Adreno 330 GPU, and it's running Android 4.4.2 KitKat with HTC Sense UI over it. Probably one of the biggest differences between these two devices are the cameras. The HTC One M7 and M8 is known for its 4 ultra-pixel technology, and this year, HTC opted to put in a second camera above the M8's primary camera, and its job is to create a depth map of your scene, which allows you to add high-quality rendered effects such as background blur, or bokeh as some photographers like to call it. And it essentially allows you to refocus your images after the shot was taken, sort of like the Lightro camera that was released a few years back. And we found that the U-focus effect on the One M8 works really well. In terms of camera performance, the colors on the One M8 is a bit washed out and undersaturated for our taste. Even though it's using bigger pixels, the 4 ultra pixel just isn't cutting out for us. Photos aren't as sharp as we'd like it to be, and you won't be able to crop an image to your liking since it's lacking the megapixels. Indoors and low light, on the other hand, are pretty good compared to the E8, and we're pretty satisfied with the results we got with the One M8. Now, the other thing I'd like to point out with the M8's camera is that the auto white balance isn't as accurate as the one on the One E8. The auto white balance is completely off in certain lighting conditions, and we really prefer the E8's more accurate white balance. Now, the One E8, on the other hand, is equipped with a 13 megapixel sensor instead of the typical ultra pixel technology that's on the One M8, and we found that it's a hit or miss. Shots were definitely sharper, but the colors were a bit too saturated compared to the One M8, and we noticed that some shots came out a bit underexposed than usual, which is a bit disappointing to us. Low light shooting on the E8 is decent. It's not bad, though not the best either. It's definitely not something like the One M8, which can sort of shoot in complete darkness. Camera software is the same too. You get the same features on the One M8 except for the U-focus feature that allows you to refocus an image after you take a shot. But other than that, we found everything else was about the same. Zoe is still present here, so you're really not missing out on much. In terms of video, both can record in 1080p and slow motion 720p videos, and they both perform very similar. The audio was clear, and we didn't notice any difference between the two in terms of video. Let's take a quick break from this video and thank our friends at lynda.com. Lynda.com offers thousands of engaging, easy-to-follow video tutorials taught by industry experts to help you learn software, creative, and business skills. Membership starts at just $25 per month and provides unlimited 24/7 access. Try lynda.com free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/technobuffalo. And again, that's lynda.com/technobuffalo. The other noticeable difference between these two is the overall exterior design. The One M8, like I mentioned earlier in the beginning, is made out of a single piece of aluminum, while the One E8 is made out of polycarbonate, also known as high-quality plastic. It's naturally easy to see the difference between the One M8 and the One E8 aside from their colors and finishes. The One M8 has that dual camera system on the back with its dual LED flash, while the One E8 single sensor is apparent, along with its screen glass that partially wraps around the side of the phone's body. When it comes to pricing, both the HTC One M8 and E8's price fluctuates. They're both going for around $600 to $650 on lock right now based off of Amazon's pricing. Even though the One E8 is priced to sell much cheaper than the M8, they're around the same price range here in America. Technically, the One E8 is only available in Europe and parts of Asia, and we don't know if we'll ever see a US variant of the E8 with proper LTE bands. Though if you want to get one for yourself, you can buy it on Amazon now, but don't expect to get the LTE speeds just yet, as we could only get ours to run on HSPA. So to wrap things up for you guys, I'm still going to have to go with the HTC One M8 on this one. It's just a much more premium phone in my eyes. The aluminum finish is great, and it's available in every market with the proper LTE bands. Even though it only has 4 ultra pixels, that'll do for the average Joe. And that's it for this video, guys. If you guys have any other questions, let us know in the comments down below. I'm Mark Linsengen from Techno Buffalo. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you guys would like to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below.